Favorite scene. There's so many. I would say it would be a tie between the fight scene, which I thought came out really well. I really want to thank Steve Shore for putting that all together, because he was a lot of help. Getting all that, 'cause he's martial arts, whatever. So that and it's kind of hard. I would say the scene after the credits, because the only two people that knew about that, well, no, what it was myself and Mitch Allen. No one saw that until we premiered it. So if you haven't seen the movie already, I'm sorry I just spoiled that for you. But it is good, so watch the whole credits. And that was probably my favorite because it's a good wrap up, kind of.
My favorite scene throughout the entire movie had to have been scene 22, which is where Mitch, Kevin, and Doug, Tom, Matt, and Joe in the movie, they break into the Celestial Technologies building and actually steal the Mox. It had to have been my favorite just because of the filming process and the many experiences, per se, that went on during the process. And there was a lot of fun times and stressful times all combined, and there was just so many different things packed into one scene that I thought it was the most fulfilling scene for me.
My favorite scene of the movie was when Alex Tamworth takes the playing card and throws it into the car and gets it, not to lock. It's my favorite part because, in the words of Alex Tamworth, it's just bam.
The fight scene with Alex and Mike outside the where they were all meeting, that was hilarious. The choreography and when he spit out the fluid, it was really well done, and it was pretty funny at the same time. That was my favorite scene.
My favorite scene is the car chase, because when we were filming that scene, I was sitting in the back seat of the car, and when we were taking the turns, I didn't realize wearing a seatbelt was a good idea. So I smashed my head into the windows, and it was kind of fun.
I'd have to say the scene where my character took out a special security guard when I was going for some files. Yeah.
Any scene I was in was a good scene.
My favorite scene would have to be the probably the chipmunk scene with the giant groundhog, fighting that, being chased around, just randomness in the background.
Favorite scene in Puddles 9? Well, I don't mean to be self-centered or anything, but I think I really dug the fight scene. That's just me. And the editing was cool, man. At the time that we were making it, I was like, how the heck are we gonna do this? How the heck are we gonna make it look real? And pretty much the editing was the thing that made it as credible as possible. And that was pretty cool.
Obviously, my favorite scene in the whole movie was the boardroom scene where I couldn't get the line right. You've seen it in the outtakes. If you go back, you can check it out. Clearly, I messed up many times, but that was just a blast doing it over and over again, because none of us could get it. I was missing my lines, and we spent about an hour on that one scene, and we finally got it. I had the coke throw, and then, too much swearing and stuff like that, and, that just did it for me. It was so much fun. I loved that scene.
I really enjoyed making the movie. I don't think that there was anything that I really disliked it, with the exception of having to run back and get my trench coat whenever I would leave it in the car, and we were down at the cabin, and the car was in the parking lot. So, yeah.
I wasn't disappointed at all. At the premiere, I was blown away with the special effects that were in it, and, especially in the warehouse scene when you going back and forth and stuff, that was really, really neat. I can't think of anything that I think needs improvement. It was flawless. I enjoyed it very much. It was very cool.
I would have to say the whole process. No, I'm just kidding. The thing that I disliked the most was the actors, because they like include. I'm not the only. I'm to blame also, so I don't like myself. But the just group of some people, not pointing fingers or saying any names because we're all at fault at one point, but you know, saying, "Oh, I can't come tomorrow, so now you have to call 10 people and tell them not to come," or "Hey, I forgot to tell you, I have this Saturday free. Oh, but I thought you didn't." And now we could have filmed and we can't miss opportunities and whatnot. And I also hate scene 22 because it's evil.
The part I disliked the most is when the director Doug Vito thought that the movie was gonna get not gonna happen because we couldn't find a Mox, we couldn't find no one was there to help with the movie, and a lot of people that we had as actors didn't want to show up, so we had to replace everyone. So that was my most displeasing time.
I think it came out the best. I don't really think I disliked anything. Everything was a blast making, and yeah, basically it.
With the amount of work that went in it, hopefully, I was thinking it was gonna be longer, and there was so much filming that was done. But I think if it was a little bit longer, we could have like pulled the plot out more. But that was like the only thing. Those previews are kind of shaky too.
I wouldn't necessarily say anything. I didn't dislike anything. It was. I left it up to you guys, and you guys are the creative writing team. And you guys had a vision and everything. I was just along for the ride, and I really didn't, care how anything turned up, so long as it turned out the way that you guys wanted it to turn out. So.
The thing that I disliked most throughout Puddles 9 was just the fact that it took more time than it needed to, and everyone was at fault at one point for that, and me, everyone else, we all had some hand in it, but that was understandable throughout the school year and whatnot. But it could have taken a shorter time than it did, and I think that the length of production time potentially could have been cut down more, but we can't complain. We got it done, and I'm happy.
My favorite moment making Puddles 9 would be originally when we had the crew go to meet Mandy. It was my character, Joe Halber's character, and Steve Shore's character. And so we were going along, and we couldn't get the lines right. And we were just joking around with our second cast of Mandy, which was Angela Belpedio. I don't remember exactly what the dialogue was, but it ended with me punching Steve in the balls. It's on the blooper reel somewhere, but yeah, it's pretty funny.
My most memorable moment throughout Puddles 9 had to have been a scene that ended up not being put in, and it was just a scratch scene because due to location change and whatnot. It was when Corey Rodner, who played Jacob Cashmere, just kind of ended up improvising on the end of one of the lines, and instead of saying "Okay, have a good day, everyone," he just got up and said, "See you later," and it was so funny at the moment that we did it, and I'm sure that it's going to be in one of the deleted scene reels, and I hope that you enjoy it when you see it too. I thought it was very funny, and it stuck with me, and always will.
My most memorable moment is trying to play Space Invaders on my laptop.
Well, I think it would have to be, when I think of most memorable moment, I think of the thing that comes to mind first. And what's coming to mind first is the day we were in the office, the building, and, Corey's, swearing up a blue streak, and and then Nick's boss came in, right at the climax of the scene, and, it was pretty funny, a good coincidence, and, it kept everyone on their toes.
When we were all at the office filming the scenes that me, Megan, and Shannon were in, it was actually, because those are the only things I actually saw being filmed, so you saw a lot of the outtakes, and especially Corey trying to get the lines right. That was awesome. It was funny.
Okay, my favorite moment would have to be when Corey Rudner his character got mad at his entire team.
because the Mox was stolen, and he kept saying outrageous things, and I was sitting on the side and I was laughing so hard at the things he was saying, and that was the greatest.
Well, again, I'm going to have to go back to the boardroom scene. That was so much fun doing that just because we had so many takes of it. It must have been like 30 or so, and it was fun. But if I were to try to remember the favorite part of the movie, I mean, at least the part that I wasn't in was the fight scene, with Alex and Steve. That was great. I mean, it was just a masterpiece, really. It was hilarious, too.
Probably being chased by the giant ground chuck.
My favorite scene or moment, I'd rather, in Puddles 9 was the time we were able to catch Mitch Allen saying breakfast on camera, because we always give him crap about the way he says it because he can't say it right. So I finally got that in camera, and that felt really good because now I can distribute it worldwide and make fun of him. So that was very memorable on my part. The other memorable moment was when we were originally filming. The very first thing, that whole day was very memorable for me because it was just, it was the first time it had the original cast in it, and we were going around about, and the most memorable was the first time me, Mitch, and Kevin had come up to the Mox for the first time in the first shoot, and we had that, and it was a perfect take. There's everything about it was awesome, and then it deleted itself off of Nick's camera. That was very memorable, and I said a lot of memorable words.
My favorite superhero is hands down the Flash.
The Flash.
The Flash, or should I say, the Flash.
Wonder Woman? I guess.
Rambo.
I'm gonna have to go with Cyclops.
Oh, Trojan Man?
Me, Juke knew.
The Flash.
The Green Hornet Man.